Hey, hey, welcome to another episode of Nature Talks. Not as much nature because I'm on a road this time, but here's the backstory. So, I was at a friend's grad party, and I got bored. So what I do when I get bored, I just kind of start running. So I ran away, and I found a place I've never been. This right here is my definition of adventure. So yeah, that's your backstory right there. So just walking, farm fields, road, nice houses. There was a lake over there. I just couldn't reach it, or I would have taken the film because it's private property, and I don't want to distract the police. And here comes a car. So yeah, I'll catch up with you in a little if I find anything interesting. Alrighty, here's a smaller lake. Best I could do. Ooh, echo. That's cool. Alrighty, got ourselves a wheat field. It's getting late. It's about 8:45, almost 9 o'clock. Kind of just walked away from the grad party. I mean, I was having fun. But I should be getting some texts any minute being like, hey, where the heck did he go? If you hear that popping, that might be them. We had some fireworks. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's a beautiful night out here. Just enjoying it. If we get the opportunity, I'll do some filming for this episode in the morning. I really want to talk about money tips. I mean, I know it's a little soon after starting this to start talking about money right off the bat, but there's some stuff I've learned that especially is helpful for teenagers and even for like younger adults who are just trying to get their money together. I've had the privilege of being surrounded by a lot of people who know what they're doing when it comes to money. And I really do think I have some wisdom that I'm trying to put into practice that it would be great if you had the opportunity to put into practice some of that wisdom and those things that'll be good for your money in the long run, if we could do that together. So hopefully I'll either see you a little later tonight or in the morning, and we'll get to talk a little. Good morning. Morning. Well, went to work this morning. Didn't get the opportunity to work. Didn't get out, as some would say. I should tip you off as to what my job is. I'm in the middle of another nature preservatory right now. I mean, I'm on a bridge with a little creek running underneath me. We'll get some shots of that in a little bit, but wanted to follow up on what we were doing last night with the whole investment scheme I was going to talk about, and then saving your money, that whole deal. So yeah, may as well start off with that. So this will be particularly for, as I mentioned last night, for teenagers, I would say. Just want to make sure no one's coming, or this is going to be really embarrassing. When you're 13 to 16, even 17 years old, unless you're living on your own already, in which case I have great respect for you and your work ethic, but that's not most people. In the case of most people, you don't really have many expenses, right? I mean, maybe you'll have to buy yourself a new car, maybe you want to buy yourself new shoes, go out to eat, all that stuff, but I mean, paying for gas, that's a big thing. But especially when you're 13, 14, 15, there's nothing going on. You're not driving, you're not having to do much for yourself. So I think that whatever you make from having a job at that time, you should try to save at least 75% of it. Because what you can do with that 75%, or at least 50%, is invest it. Now, investing is essentially a way of preserving your wealth. So the economy inflates at 4.2% per year. That means that your money is worth 4.2% less than it was last year. So what I could get for $1 last year, this year will cost me $1.04, and the year after that will cost me $1.08, and the year after that maybe $1.13, because of how compound interest works. What investing does is, if you get in a very conservative mutual fund, which is what I'll talk about in a little bit, you'll essentially grow your money at a 7 or 8% annual rate. So instead of having your money lose value by 4% per year, you'll be gaining value by 3 or 4% per year, and in long term, much more than that. So right there, I'm essentially telling you how to have your money make money for you. I mean, you don't even have to work for this. You just have to put it somewhere, and it grows, right? Opposed to if you don't do anything with it, or if you spend it, you're losing money one way or another through inflation or spending it. So I like mutual funds in the form of a Roth IRA. So a Roth IRA, essentially what it does is when you put your money in this, the money that you put in gets taxed, right? Because everything has to be taxed one way or another. So the government takes some money right off the bat. But then when you take the money out in 30, 40, 50 years, it doesn't get taxed. The benefit of that is in 30 or 40 or 50 years, your money is worth a whole lot more. I mean, I did the math at an 8% annual growth rate. Your money will be worth 31.5 times what it is right now in 45 years. So if you start investing when you're 15, when you're 60 years old, every dollar you put in will be worth more than $30. And with tax, probably about, if it's taxed on the way in, I always say just probably $30 on the dot. I mean, you're making your money, and that's for sure. So that's definitely the benefit of investing, because I mean, so many people find it hard to retire or have any financial security when they're older, right? And that's because, excuse me, they don't start when they're young, right? They spend their money when they're young. Hold on. All right, anyway. They spend their money when they're young, and then they don't start investing until they're in their 30s, and you don't have enough time to grow your money, because I mean, time's the biggest thing when it comes to investing. I mean, money's worth a good amount, but the amount of money is not nearly as important as the amount of time. Especially 5 years on either end, whether you wait till you're 65 or you start when you're 15 instead of 20. It's where the money's at. It's where you're gonna see the most growth. So I would recommend looking into getting a Roth IRA. You can reach out to a financial advisor. You can talk to your local bank about that. But it's just a really, really great place to send your money when you don't need it, because eventually you're going to need it. And it's great if that money is worth 30 times what it would have been when you do need it. So that right there is my 2 cents on investing. That's what I do, my personal conservative option. It's a pretty sure thing. It's been working for quite a while now, hundreds of years to my knowledge. But there's other ways to invest. There's more aggressive ways to invest. You can buy individual stocks through a brokerage or a broker, what they call it. It's you can do it online. That's what I do. Especially as I get older, I can start, instead of just throwing all my money into a mutual fund, I can buy individual stocks, which a stock is essentially part of a company that you're paying to support. So if I buy a stock of Walmart, essentially I'm saying, hey, I want to throw X amount of money into Walmart so Walmart can do better. And if enough people across the country throw X amount of money into Walmart, Walmart will do better. And therefore you'll make money on that piece of the company that you own. And then you can buy and sell accordingly. You can try to make your money. But that gets a little advanced. A lot of it is guesswork. A lot of it is not sure. And if you succeed 51% of the time or more, then that's what the pros do. They succeed 55% of the time and they fail 45% of the time. So over a very long period of time, they end up beating the market by just a hair, which is why they're the professionals, which is why I let them manage my money instead of me most of the time. But yeah, I mean, that just there's so much value in investing for what it can get you in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's all there is to it. Invest, please do. It's so smart, especially if you're young, and even if you're older, 20s, 30s, something like that, you still have time. You can make those investments work for you. You can make your money work for you, and it will pay off in the future. But yeah, aside from that, we'll walk around this area and see if we can get any good shots of the river and the woods. I mean, it's a beautiful place in here in general. So yeah, stick around. We'll get some good footage for you. Alrighty, another successful day out here. Well, successful couple of days. I'm on top of some monkey bars right now, actually. Fun fact, I found a playground. A little woods in the background. Whatever the heck that is. But yeah, just wanted to end this off by reiterating investing, super valuable, right? I recommend as soon as you possibly can get into it. You don't have to be smart, you don't have to be rich, you just have to take what you have and invest it, and it'll pay off for you so much in the future. I guarantee it. As long as the economy looks even remotely like it does right now in America, it's gonna pay off. With that said, enjoy yourself, have a good day, have a good evening, whatever you might be doing right now, and keep adventuring.